games here that some people would actually want to see on modern technology.
Shining Force.
I don't think that this is a bad idea. I don't think this is a controversial take. This is not a hot take. Okay.
So what if I told you that Tecmo World Golf, a game that doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, is actually the best golf game I've played so far?
I would say, yeah, that checks out. There's nothing about that statement I find particularly contradictory.
Like, this game, it basically works. It works. It's fine. For some reason,
it basically works, raves Borgmaster.
Like, for some reason, the shot power is manually done, and the actual timing is on the accuracy on the ball, which is interesting. It's neat and different in a way that works. Look at that chase camera. That chase camera functions.
That chase camera functions, raves Borgmaster.
Man, have you seen the teeny soft golf games?
I'm well aware of Craig Statler.
Those games suck dog shit.
Yeah, but they have an FMV Craig Statler in them.
That's the only one of them does, and that's the only redeeming quality for anything Teeny Soft has ever made.
And then they use that engine for Virtual Highlight.
They did. Which I beat. I beat that game.
So to any of the people joining us now that might be Sega Saturn apologists, I'm joined by Sega Saturn expert Borgmaster.
I'm gonna raid.
Sega Saturn Apollo Master. Oh, you monster! You titled your stream in such a way
what is your Sega Saturn expertise? Arbitrary waters.
To ensure that Sega Saturn experts are going to come for you.
Again, I don't have a lot of nice things to say about this game.
Maybe you should play it better. All right. Well,
I can imagine the intro cutscenes. If I had seen these, if I had a Saturn and these cutscenes greeted me, this would have blown my goddamn mind. Okay.
I mean, the opening cutscene to the first Panzer Dragoon, like as like a launch Saturn game, was like, holy crap.
Yeah, they had ideas. This game is a little crazy at the start. This was in fact impressive in 1998. Yeah, it was. Playing it.
Cuidado, Edge.
Nihil. Dinstrentia. Although some siakol.
Meliust prelidis, expedul.
Tunes cognitum lua.
I like the original Panzer Dragoon games. Yeah, I am aware that this is a made-up language. But no, yeah, like those original Panzer Dragoon games are fun. This is the part where I infuriate Borgmaster and oh, why is the game being super slow now? I don't know why that's happening.
Hey man, emulation's hard, alright.
Is something happening here?
Have I shown you the link to the picture of the Saturn's architecture?
Okay.
But
But no, as I was saying, like, this is the part where I piss off Borgmaster and Jeff when I say that my favorite Panzer Dragoon game is Orda.
が
I'm not gonna argue with that.
It's the first game I played
Like ever?
in the franchise. I think that Pokemon rules apply to Panzer Dragoon. Your first game is the one that you developed the nostalgia for, and you believe it's the best.
Well, I'm going to be playing Zwei in a couple months, so I'm going to test that.
I mean, the weird thing with Zwei is like, well, I mean, this is not a weird thing. This is just true about every single Panzer Dragoon game, other than this one, is they're shockingly short.
They're very short.
Like, I remember when that remaster of that Panzer Dragoon game came out, and the number one criticism was that the game was too short by modern standards, which was very silly.
I mean, but all those rail shooters are short. Like, because you don't want a 5-hour-long rail shooter. It's going to annoy you. Like, think about, like, was it Crimson Dragon, that early Xbox One game?
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I was thinking, like, is there a series where every one of the games is basically good that has failed harder in the Panzer Dragoon series?
Ah, man. Yeah, so this game underperformed so poorly that basically it put the entire franchise on hiatus and forced the team to go back to the drawing board and make a throwback to the original style. Because, like, they were going to try and, like, okay, so these rail shooters are not doing well and the Saturn's still struggling. What if we made an RPG? Because, you know, what's the game that Sony's killing us with? It's Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess the way I'm thinking, like all of the mainline games are good, basically, to some extent right now. You know, One, Zwei, Saga, Orta, they're all good games, but the series just never caught a break. It just crashed and burned, even though it was good.
I mean,
that seems unusual.
So, I mean, like, you have to
Is that unusual
recognize...
for Sega?
You have to recognize, like, yeah, the post-Genesis Sega is not a good version of Sega.
It's a trash fire, right? Of an organization.
You ever think about how Sega of Japan just actively sabotaged
The
Sega
release
of
of the
America
Saturn?
for the entirety of the Saturn's lifespan?
Yeah, like, Sega USA was constantly butting heads with Sega Japan.
It also didn't help that the arcade industry was running out of steam in the late 90s as well.
Mhm.
So there's nothing that for Sega to really fall back on.
And
The
yet
way
they
that
bought
Nintendo-
Sammy, a Sega-exclusive developer, or merged with them, in theory.
I mean, let's be real here. The reason why Nintendo still exists is because of the Game Boy.
You could argue that the Wii was a huge return to form for them.
It was, but they spent a decade in the wilderness with N64 and GameCube.
N64 did just fine.
It did okay, but it did similar numbers to the Saturn. Like, overall sales was similar between the Saturn and N64.
You also need to talk about, like, video game developers like Nintendo make a lot of money on merchandise.
Nintendo has a theme park.
They do now, but like in the mid '90s,
They had Mario.
they had Mario and they had Game Boy and Pokemon. And if it wasn't for the Game Boy, I think that they would have fared probably better than Sega, but not much better than Sega. Like, that's how dominant Sony was at the PlayStation.
Oh, he shot that man. So I think this Empire is bad.
At Empire, I don't believe it.
Laos de Pors Resta.
でノスタだなハーボー
All right, so why is this cutscene terrible?
We're about halfway done with it.
So it's just long.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This.
Les Frota Festina. Ushe Centuria Venire.
Do you know what this whole like fake language reminds me of? It reminds me of the scene with the evil crows in Dark Crystal that are speaking their foreign language, but unlike this game, the entire scene is unsubtitled, and you're just watching these evil anthropomorphic crows eat their food and speak in this language. You don't know what the fuck they're saying.
So it's like the Minions movie, then.
Except, you know, there's no humor. Oh, I got to the part where they start speaking Japanese. Oh, they shot him. Now he's gonna fall. But he can't die because he's our pro tag.
So why did people spend 20 years hyping up this game as being...
Because they
a
were the
lost
only ones who
masterpiece.
played it.
And also, a limited number of the copies of this game came out even when it was first released, and so it led to this mystique.
So just everyone who like shelled out the money to cobble together. Like,
Oh,
the disc
right. I
for the game.
forgot. There's a second part to this cutscene. We gotta go to the capital of the Empire.
Meanwhile,
Oh no! Neo Tokyo blew up! It's Akira!
I hate it when Neo Tokyo blows up.
But that Akira holds up, right? Like, it's not something where you have to like squint your eyes.
I
and
mean,
like,
Akira just looks amazing. Like, Akira, no anime will ever look as good as Akira because no other anime is going to have that level of cocaine, insanity money.
But I'm just saying, like, Akira as a story is also very interesting. Even though it's kind of up its
I'm
own
to understand
ass.
the manga, maybe.
Oh yeah, the manga's great. Like, they actually make the whole, like, evil factions and those weird, like, clones characters.
Because Akira the movie does not have the time.
It's all about weird body horror.
Yeah, it's all about Tetsuo, Kaneda, etc., etc.
Uh-huh. When you say Jatsu, it reviewed well. Are you joining our conversation about Akira? Or are you joining
No,
our conversation about...
That was earlier,
Okay.
about this game.
All right, so what is
As
my
we
name?
speak.
All right, so
Tetsuo.
this
There
is
you
the
go.
part where I get yelled at. Okay, so... Okay, yep.
I don't like video games, he said.
No, I did not
Yeah.
set up a controller to use this.
Are you using the keyboard?
Yes.
God fucking damn it!
I can't help you.
So...
Every time with you.
Right, so I wonder if enter is the enter button. Nope. Okay, it's W. Yes, this is my real name. Why do you guys yell at me like that?
Because you're like a dog rolling in its own filth, and then wondering why we all get mad at you.
I'm just so disappointed.
All right. So this game came out January 29th, 1998. Ocarina of Time came out in November of the same year. And both of these games tried to solve the problem of how do you aim in 3D games? And
Like I said, the
Ocarina of
analog
Time's
stick.
solution was, let's say, a little bit better than this game's.
Well, see, what you need is 2 analog sticks next to each other,
Yeah?
and you use one of them to move around and one of them to look and aim.
What's an analog stick?
Oh, good question.
Anyway,
All right, so have you played at Atari 2600?
Oh, yeah, that's what my grandpa used to make me play.
Okay, so imagine if you had like 2 of those controllers like kind of smushed together.
Uh-huh.
And it's like that.
Yeah, there's going to be this weird, awkward period where the game oscillates between speaking in Japan and speaking in its fake language, and it's very awkward.
Okay, yeah. So do you remember the old arcade game from the 70s, Gotcha?
Yeah. Oops, sorry.
Yeah. So like that, but like on a handheld controller.
Okay. So, one of the core mechanics is that you need to explore your environments, and we got our little dude. Got a little dude right here. He's fallen down. Can't go this way. He's a kid. He's just trying to enjoy life. Now, something that is a core mechanic in this game, and I jump back and forth about how I feel this, is that you need to explore and identify objects that are in the environment. You do this by hitting the action button, and then once you find this little icon, it will either say near, close, or near or far. If it's far away, we can get a basic description of it, but we won't get too much about it. So let's go ahead and come up to these pillars. Okay, so we're near, so we're going to get the full description, and we will be able to loot this pillar. We got some items. Okay. We got a handgun.
There's one obvious problem here
Yeah.
with your description of the controls.
And-
You're not using a controller, so I don't trust anything you say.
Okay, so it's W to bring up the reticle, and then X to close the reticle. I'm gonna be honest, I forgot how to pull up the menu.
oh, if only you had a bespoke small set of buttons instead of a
It's
giant
enter.
layout
Okay.
of them.
All right, show item list, display map, change settings. Display, wait, oops. Okay, so it's W. Map of your
Oh, that's
location, no
dime.
map exists.
Okay.
Okay. Wait, no, I don't want that. Can I...
Yeah, I was leaning away from the screen, and and that dine on the menu looked like a different word.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Okay, so enter is, or like accept is W, and exit
God
is
damn it.
enter. What?
God damn it!
Ah, the controls in this are so
I
bad.
never was complaining about the controls. You're lying. This is fake news.
God fucking damn it!
Let's unlock the elevator so as that I can take the elevator. I do think this game does control a little clunky, but that's fine.
Oh really?
Ride the elevator or stay here? I wonder what the game expects me to do.
Oh,
Hi.
Hey, Justin. So, what do you think about keyboards instead of controllers for console games?
Like, which console games? Oh, you mean like ZP's thing where he plays console games on an emulator with a controller?
With a keyboard.
With a keyboard? Sorry.
Yes, that is exactly
No.
what I'm talking about.
Ow.
I mean, whatever you want to do. It's unusual, but I mean, like, I played through several CRPGs with a controller.
I
so
played through
whatever.
a Souls game with a keyboard and mouse. And Braden and Relkin gave me so much shit for it.
Yeah.
Are
Why?
are your parents
I
disappointed
rolled
in you?
around in my own filth. Why did people yell at me?
I played some Elden Ring with a keyboard. It seemed fine.
Yeah, it's fine. You don't need to be discriminated against.
I don't need 360 degrees of movement.
Oh,
I mean, you just move the mouse?
There's no mouse controls. It's just keyboard.
I mean, in Elden Ring, not in this.
Oh, right. We're missing the story. He summoned the dragon.
Hey man,
So-
I summon the dragon every day if you know what I mean.
So,
I don't.
Panzer Dragoon games, they all have like a made-up language, right? They
Yeah.
don't actually speak anything that you can understand.
Yeah, so this game has audio where we experience that language for the first act, and then quickly they drop the act and everyone starts speaking Japanese. It's the weirdest decision.
I guess they got tired of their own bullshit. Oh,
Yeah,
according
but
to
doing so
Jatsu,
mid-game seems really weird.
this game actually supports the Saturn analog controller, the Duke Mini.
Hmm.
That we all know and love.
Yeah. I was playing Baldur's Gate
Again,
3
what's an
with the-
analog stick?
Okay, so
It's
you
funny
know that old
because-
arcade game Gotcha.
It's funny, you see, because he likes to have a bad time.
I don't know why you all talk about how this controller thingamajig is so good, when I recall Borgmaster saying how hard it was playing classic point-and-click adventure games with a controller. And Braden
yes.
played Monkey Island, was like, oh, the radial menu thing, this is bad. Blah, I wish I could just do Scum.
Okay, so counterpoint. This
Adventure
isn't
games
a
are
point and click
shit.
adventure game.
乗れって言うか
So here's that foreign language. I'm just gonna say, the dragons should look cute.
No. They should be fucked up like this. It's a good idea. Like, Panzer Dragoon isn't here to be all kawaii up in this bitch. It's here to be like weird and kind of existential in its designs. That's what makes it what it is. Like you aren't supposed to feel good looking at these dragons.
Do you know what this
Or-
reminds me of is, you remember when they did that Secrets of Mana game? They
No.
remastered it and it had that weird cutesy art style, and it's like, boys, sure is a cutesy art style. Are you guys still gonna have that horribly depressing ending? And it sure does. It sure does.
Remember
Like-
when original Secret of Mana also still had a cutesy art style?
Then it ends with you killing your best friend and then Ash falling upon Earth with their
だ
ashes.
いぶ流されたな
Hmm.
早く発掘所に戻らないと
Never played it.
だけどこの
I've
Oh.
seen footage of that game,
Boy.
but it's not seem like the kind of game that would end that way.
Falcon hates it.
I wonder how I control the dragon with a keyboard.
Sounds like it's a problem of your own making.
Oh, this was a mistake.
Yes.
Okay. Uh-huh. Oh. how do I go forward? Okay. Wait, nope. How do I... Nope, not spacebar.
Alright, so I'm curious. For everyone that's not myself or ZP, what's more egregious? Him playing this game with a keyboard or me playing Plumbers Don't Wear Ties at all?
I think it's gonna be me. I mean,
You
I always
playing
vote for
Plumbers Don't Wear
myself.
Ties.
I'm gonna hit a save state because I think this is a timed mission. Ah, fiddlesticks. The site I got this from only has the controls listed for controllers, not for keyboards.
Who would have thought?
I'm starting to think that maybe they randomly placed them on a keyboard as a minimum requirement. Did not expect people to actually use these.
Gee, I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Okay. Okay, so we do have a map.
Well, I'm gonna play this game in like 5 years, so I don't want spoilers. See y'all.
Okay. Oh, I figured it out! It's X! Hell yeah! Okay. Fuck yeah. Okay.
Just go remap them.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
So how what? So
that's
Braden,
what-
Yeah,
what's
can I
your-
help you?
what's your favorite controller?
Maybe the DualShock 4?
Because you're a console gamer.
Yeah, that's me.
Console McGee.
That's me.
Mr. CRPG slash strategy man,
Yeah.
the console gamer.
Oh.
Do I just have Twitch muted? No, you just have your game turned down.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I can change that.
Yeah, it's okay. If you want to load, that's fine. Or, I don't know.
The cutscenes were it's the classic retro game problem of cutscenes are loud, the in-game stuff is very quiet.
Mm.
So tell me if this is too much, because I can go back down.
Yeah, that's not too much. I turned my headphones way up so I can just hear it. I will have to turn it all down though. Or just down.
I see. Gotta use momentum. This is cool. I got the field map. That's helpful. There's something wrong?
No, that was me. I'm fucking with sounds.
I got the
in it.
Dynus chip. Braden, are you there?
I'm still here, yeah.
I think the game is a little clunky.
I mean, Sure, but part of that is just your insistence on using a keyboard.
Okay. I think the game is cork.
I think you're funky.
So where's the RPG part of this RPG?
I've not gotten to it yet. Oh, wow. I do feel like there is something to Sega. Look, Sega, it turns out, Sega being one of the better run Japanese video game companies.
In publishers?
Yeah. Once they got out of the console development cycle,
Oh yeah.
started making some Yakuza games.
And
I feel like I gotta get some more distance because I'm targeting different stuff. So let's just. Oh fuck shit! Didn't want the dingus chip. Just give me the good shit. Give me these boxes.
hate prizes.
Anything else that I might have missed? Okay.
You made it to Act 2 in BG3 yet, Brayden?
Yeah,
It's good.
it's good.
I have not. I'm still. I think I could just head on over there, but there's some stuff in the first area I still have yet to do.
Thankfully, you can still go back to some of these areas.
It seems like you do fail a lot of quests if you don't do them though.
Oh yeah, it seems like, yeah, if you don't do some quests, then those people will move on.
I have done the Underdark. I got all the way to Neri and got his head, found the forge.
So I've said this. There's like a weird debate apparently about whether or not you should kill Neri. You should fucking side with him. And I'll just say this: unless you're deliberately doing an evil playthrough, you get the guillotine out for Neri.
I want to do an evil playthrough, like a deliberately.
Oh
evil
yeah, sure.
playthrough
I
at
think
some
that it's
point,
absolutely worth a second or third playthrough.
But I have purposefully killed every slaver I've met. character is a kleptomaniac, not a monster.
Yeah. Yeah.
I let him die in the tunnel.
Yeah, you let him die? It's a cool
yeah,
battle.
you can let him.
I mean, I know
So
you
I
well-
started. I started the battle, and there was no way I could actually beat that.
I did not have enough resources to do that fight.
Yeah. I actually didn't mean to let him die. I meant to come back and do it later. So I went searching for the forge. I just was searching around the ruins and found the forge, and then on the way to the forge, which goes over that battlefield, I saw it was empty, and I saw his corpse laying there, and I was like, "Oh, is he just dead?"
Yeah.
He was just dead. So after I finished all that, I went back out. I just killed the hag.
Yeah.
I knocked out Mayrina, and I figured she'd just wake up or something. But after a long rest, the game considered her dead. So
Okay, an ancient device, save my record. Sure, a little save a record. So the saves are limited.
not if you're using it. I mean,
What?
who would do that?
And let's enter the next area. Now, this is one of the more in-game. This is an in-game cutscene thingy-majig.
But I think the only things I have left to do are get Karlak, who's still not in my party, and go deal with Lae'zel's people who were there.
Oh,
I
but
don't know what
Karlak is
happened
best
there.
girl.
That's what I hear.
Because
Uh,
she's like, hey,
Real
bruv,
quick,
fuck
give me
yeah.
a minute. I've got to use the restroom and also
The
make a
art's
phone
on
call.
fire. No, there's a bit in.
I think this playthrough I'm going to find out what Gale's deal is and then kick him out for every other playthrough because I'm not feeding him any more magic items.
As soon as you start Act 2, you don't have to.
Great. Because I was afraid I'd have to do that for the entire game. I might kick him out. Find him kind of insufferable.
I'm gonna eat something. I'll be back.
Okay.
Apologies, I'm back. Nothing too major. I'm back. All right, let's do a quick little cutscene thing. You know, with this wonderful control setup of involving a mouse and keyboard. Oh, the controls for when you're on foot versus when you have a dragon are very different, and I'm not used to it. I wonder, is there a run button? Oh no, this guy, we knew him.
Electric Viking is just here to get mad. He's playing with a keyboard. Does that make you mad?
Is he actually here?
He's in the chat. Not in voice chat, like in text chat. Or he's made a
Jeff,
post.
you should actually be in chat, in the Discord chat, to actually yell at me.
隊長
生きてたのか
But anyways.
無事で
隊長
早く行け奴らは谷に沿って北へ向かってるあの男クレイメンたちを追え
クレイメン
今の帝国軍が来る前
クレイメン誰なんですそいつはそれに
You
なんで
know, they
追わ
got
な
the
きゃならないんです
Zebo emulator working, so I'm thinking, what if I played this with a Zebo controller?
黒い艦隊を率いる男の話を聞いたことがあるおそらくは奴がここを見れば帝国は俺たちを疑うあの発掘物を奪回する以外お前の生き延びる方法はない胸のポケットそうだ
Oh no, he's
隊
deaded.
長これは
I lied.
隊長
I decided not to get food.
We eat bread in my
隊長
house. And chicken. I love you, Jeff!
クレイメンめ
Craymen?
Yeah,
Like crab men?
yeah. Get
crayfish?
some Old Bay, and these people are dead.
Okay, let's talk about.
Old Bay being one of the best seasonings you can buy.
No, let's talk about how they are charging $25 fucking dollars for that new Warhammer DLC.
Why don't you explain what is in it before we talk about that?
It is a Lord pack
Okay.
Which
with
Warhammer
three
we're not-
with
Total
three lords, one for Kislev, one for Cathay, and one for Zinj.
During battle, your attacks are dependent on this gate. Oh, this is going to be the make or break situation here, is if I can figure out how to control battles, huh?
Yeah, no, I have no sympathy for you.
Hey, Jeff, how do you,
Hi, Jeff. Jeff, how do I play video game with keyboard? Not way it was
Jeff, how do
intended.
I do this with, how do we do normal attack? Okay. Okay. Fire laser. Okay.
This is what I wanted to see, was how this battle system worked.
Uh-huh. What if I use an item? I'm gonna use Elixir Miner. It's very flashy.
I mean, yes, it was 90s Sega, so yes.
I got a berserk technique. Okay, oh! Oh, okay, so this is mapped to the arrow keys, not WASD. Okay, sure. I mean... Oh, you atom bombed them. You Oppenheimered them. A is your pistol, B is your homing laser, C is menu. Okay, so it's like the A button, B button, and C button, but those buttons are all very separate from one another. That's very unintuitive, Bree.
Well, if you would use
Yeah.
a fucking controller.
See, it's funny. It's like when Gino plays a Souls game with a naked character, and it's like, look at me, look at what I'm doing to prove you people wrong.
Okay. Man, this game is such
This
a...
is pretty good.
It's so
This
good.
is
Pretty good music.
a real Kaufman-esque
This game
subversion of
looks
my
so
expectation.
cool. So for those that don't know, there's multiple different approaches to shading, and this uses a shading technique known as Gerard shading. It's superior to flat shading, though flat shading is a more common technique because it's easier and more cost intuitive. But Gerard shading definitely has a look to it that is interesting. It's really interesting.
The only Gerard shading I
Shot
want
in
is
and
Gerard
shot.
butt shading.
I actually need to. Okay. Radar shows where your dragon is located in relation to the enemy. Enemies will always appear in the center. Oh, this positional stuff is going to be very hard on this keyboard.
If only there was a way to
I feel
solve
like
it.
I feel like you're doing this just to make people hate you more.
No, it's a very funny bit. Truly a Kaufman-esque style. Actually, it's your fault.
I don't think even he did that double job. These
Okay.
questions I'm not meant to ask. Oh, it's literally just a menu of tutorials.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Right.
honestly, at this point. Hit it in its butt. It's weak to the butt. So this is the part where I tell Jeff why I think that the best Panzer Dragoon game is Orda, because I like playing things on Xboxies.
With the controller?
Yeah, with the Duke controller.
I'm sorry. I can't believe this. You lied to me. You were making a very funny bit about haha PC gamer man. Look at me. Look at me. I
have the Switch version of the original Panzer Dragoon. If you play it on the Switch, is it the best one?
Everyone loves the Switch.
What's a controller? Is that the thing that you use to change the channels on a television? Because in that case, I think that the Amazon Fire has the best controller.
So is this like a remake of the original game, or?
No.
No.
This was its
What
own
is this?
thing.
I know that, but like, it
The original games were rail shooters.
looks very similar. Yeah, I know that, but I mean, like, sort of retelling the same story, but in.
No, this
like,
takes place
JRPG
after
world.
Zwei, where
Yeah.
basically the world comes apart and we're living in a post-apocalypse. It's kind of like Phantasy Star 1 to 2, and then 3 is like, oh, getting rid of Mother Brain actually fucked everything up. Are you and Jeff going to spend the entire podcast just yelling at me?
I'm considering it.
Yeah, it was Phantasy Star 4. I know when you the game after Mother Brain, like basically the world's dead, the planet's dead. Even though
Right.
did they ever resolve the big conflict with the aliens and the Earthmen at the end of Phantasy Star 3, where like the last Earthmen are about to fight your characters and then it cuts to black and then credits? Did they ever resolve who won or lost that fight? So
were there?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Are
I'm gonna ask, were there
Earthmen
any good
canonical
fantasy
still,
stories
or did the Earthmen become extinct? Because I know in Phantasy Star Online, which is a different, okay, the cast of 2 died. I like how the canonical start of Phantasy Star Online is Phantasy Star 2. But there are Earth people in Phantasy Star Online. I don't think I'm going to be getting a lot of excellence with my control scheme. You don't like Phantasy Star Online 2 at all? I mean, I could pick it. I could pick it. We would have a good time.
Who would have a good time?
I would have a good time. Did you know that you could bolt extra sets of boobs on your characters to, like, have
I'm
6
aware.
tits?
I'm aware.
Look at how much longer, Jeff, it took me to fucking do all of the aiming stuff. Do I actually need to care about getting all of the items?
No, but you're going to do it anyway.
Man, I can't. So this game has an interesting... I think that this reticle thing... In the grand scheme of things, like, in terms of, like, the solutions to how do you do aiming in 3D games, this is an interesting solution. Oh, no, wait, I didn't want to go there. Fuck. I will just say right now, I'm not getting all of the items. This is a blind playthrough. Oh, yep, that's a little cumbersome. Do you want me to answer that? I have been talking Yang so much that I don't even know what my question was. What did I ask? Do you actually need all the items? Oh, yeah, answer. Answer away, oh wizened sage. No, I didn't fucking mean to hit that. God damn it. I'm also not playing with a guide. What's why? Oh, right here. Map your location. Is there a quest log here? What's gonna happen is something that happens in every single video game that I play with a mouse and keyboard. I'm gonna get used to it. And, no, I didn't mean to do that. I don't like how they aim for things far away. It feels bad.
So does part of this game take place on land?
Yeah. You saw the
Oh,
part where
yeah.
I had to find my friend that was dead.
Yeah. But that was like 2 seconds of walking around.
There will be more stuff like that. You can't destroy it. Too weak.
So did this game ever come out anywhere other than Saturn?
Oh,
Absolutely not.
no.
It barely came out on the Saturn to begin with.
Show item list. Nope. Cannot be sold. Oh, that's right. This has quest logs and items with descriptions that fill in the world. So this is telling us about the Empire being evil. About that guy who got shot.
Is looking up the lore necessary? Because this seems more like a vibes game.
I would agree with you. I think that this is a vibes game.
This looks like Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah. Oh, I got combat. I'm in a random encounter.
Oh, yay, random encounter.
Oh, they healed themselves. Alright, this is where we gotta find out. Does ZP know how to fucking do this? Nope, nope, nope. Can ZP... Nope. Fuck! So ZP clearly... Okay, ZP clearly... doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Good fight. Yeah, I don't think I'm getting a lot of excellent fights.
Why?
No,
The Y button.
that's on the...
I know.
You fucking... God damn it! I fucking reset the game! God damn it! The Y button was the reset, you fuckers!
Yeah, I have no sympathy for you.
You fucking
Jeff still there?
assholes!
Ah, perfect.
I hate you, Justin! God damn it!
Why do you have quick load down to Y?
Fucking asshole! Oh, did it not?
I'm not the asshole trying to play this fucking game with a keyboard.
You fucking dick. Great. Oh, I'm all the way back here. Cool. Fucking dick. Oh, wow, that's right. It's all the way back from when I first got the dragging. Well, everybody, this is gonna be a fun time for you and me. I'm not remapping the controllers now. Now this is a matter of principle.
At least unmap Y.
No. No, that's the danger zone. Gotta live on the edge. Party horror, I'm providing entertainment because I'm one of them Twitch streamers.
I'm now entertained. The crowd likes nothing more than to see Twitch streamers do something painful.
No! I'm not gonna let my Twitch channel bully me. You don't have a right to bully me. I have rights. I'm a citizen of the United States. I will not be fucking told how to live my my life. Like this is a Soviet Union proletariat.
Sound is a bit off. Ow. Because you fiddled with it earlier.
What?
Jeff says sound is a bit off.
Really? I didn't do that. Sound is off? What do you mean off? Is
No,
it
not off, as in wrong, as in incorrect, I assume.
What the fuck? What do you mean sound is off?
Ask Jeff. I asked Jeff.
I don't
asked
know what
Electric
the fuck he
Viking.
means by that, because he just said it. This is...
Anyway. Oh, laser sound. Okay. Maybe the emulator not reproducing that sound correctly.
I'm gonna do this a lot faster, because now I know how to control the game. What? What? You can't just say, oh no. What fucking happened? Jeff, you're really frustrating in this regard. You have all of these wonderful words that you say when we record a podcast, and then the minute you're forced to...
You throw off your groove.
I got a dingus chip. Jeff?
I think that was supposed to be a Y, but whatever.
Oh.
I don't know. I couldn't tell. Sure.
Oh, I should probably figure out how to, like, equip items.
Anyway. I'll talk to y'all later.
Bye. Person who did not yell at me for playing games the way that I enjoy them. Why is it taking so long to break this train? Cool. Vendor trash. I love it. Another dingus trip. You wrote a guide for this on Giant Bomb. I unfortunately suspect that a site revision may have erased your guide. Alright, so dingus. Got some dingus chips. Is there a way to run when you're just your dude on foot? You guys answer that for me, please. Could the dragon go faster? Oh, so like the altitude stuff's kind of like River Raid. The animations are good. To all of the one of you on the face of this earth that got that Rip Raid joke, God bless you. Coolia's dung. Great. Hold B. I don't know what B is. I don't know what B is. Let's use the next location to figure out what B is. How long will I be at this? At least another hour. Because I have a feeling that if, you know, the way I want to play this game has been judged. Oh, there we go. Found out. It's X. Whatever the X button, or whatever... It's a mystery. We've already seen this cutscene, so we're going to skip it. Telepathy shard. Imperial piece of crap. Action. That seems like a useful item. Dingus chip. Brayden?
Yes.
What are you doing in the Baldur's Gate?
I'm hanging out with some Githyanki.
Oh that sounds like you're having a fun
Not
time.
very nice.
How are the wonderful controls using a mouse and keyboard?
Oh, you see, asswipe. You can make that. You can make this goop, but the thing is, this game's controller support is apparently very good.
But you wouldn't use that unless you're a traitor to the genre.
See, I really don't need this in my life because this gets way too close to that fucking PC Master Race bullshit,
Really?
and I don't need that in my life.
Okay, I apologize. I got some dinguses. Great fight! Hey, I got a great fight! Oh, I got a field map. Yeah, I like the look of this game. I like its style. I like its ambition. It's a very bizarre game. It's very bizarre. Like, I know that we sometimes talk about, oh man, the Sega Saturn really could have been something. This is a game where I hate to say it, but to me, it makes sense why this game was kind of rejected by mainstream audiences. Because you took this game that was a genre, a very particular genre, and then you made not that. And then also, yeah, like, there's just so much to be said about the Saturn dying a death by fights. Bernie Stoller just fucking up left and right and not being held accountable. Oh wait, was Bernie Stoller with Sony still, or was he with Sega? Bernie Stoller is kind of with Jack Trammell in terms of, like, important figures that, in one camp, credited with, like, reviving or creating the hobby, and then in the other camp, viewed as, like, myrtleizing things that he did not appreciate or enjoy. Jack Trammell, Commodore 64, great job. Jack Trammell, the Amiga or the Atari ST, terrible job. Ow! Don't shoot me. Why would you shoot me? Oh, I don't need to do the menu. Oh, you can just quick attack? I should use the gun. I should use the gun. Close call. Yeah, I did take some damage. That was bad. You're saying all of these words like, oh, why don't you move while also, oh wow, when my first blitz attack is a random loot drop. That seems, bad. That seems like a bad design choice. Just gonna go ahead and say that.
しまった。構成生物よけの風網か。
Device. What if, and this is just a thing, what if I did a quick little save state here? Let's do a save state. Oh, nope, that didn't do it.
Oh.
What happened?
I got to a place in Baldur's Gate that I made some choices. That one might say, or maybe not.
Suboptimal, and now you're being held accountable?
Let me tell you, shit's got weird. And that's a thing I appreciate about this game. Is
Have you met any of the classic Baldur's Gate characters yet?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder if there's a person who's like, who's this Minsk? And why do people like him so much? Like, because to be honest, I feel like a lot of those classic characters, 5e's been pretty terrible about making people give a shit about. This is the part where I tell Jatsu and Jeff that I am actually having an okay time with this game. And I respect that it is highly ambitious. I will probably get my Xbox controller set up to play this, but I will not stream it because I have it under good authority that, let's just say, JRPG fanboys are kind of weird about these sorts of things. It stopped. Oh no, I hope this wasn't a mistake. Is damage permanent? Or does it refresh between... No, the Sega Saturn people are weirdos. I mean, just look at Borgmaster and Jeff. They're sick in the head. They think Nights into Dream's a good game. Brayden, like, imagine if you thought Nights into Dream was a good game. It's kind of hard to imagine, right? This is the part where it's like, imagine if you thought Myst was a good game. God, this music is so good.
貴様らこれがどういう意味か分かってるのかクレイメン艦よりの返信確認できません こんなところであの発掘物をドラゴンを奪われるわけにはいかん。全艦戦闘態勢を取れ。ダメです。噴射弾急速接近。間に合いません。
Yeah, the weird part of this game where they stop caring about the alien language and then start speaking Japanese is such a weird choice. Like, it is an iconic, it is something that is a part of the Panzer Dragoon games. It's like, everybody speaks in this weird language. And then to just see them drop it so thoroughly and quickly is kind of a weird thing. No! No! Didn't even give me a chance to get out of the danger zone. Wow. You have to heal. I need to heal them. Oh, wow, yeah, I do need to heal. So, can I heal outside of combat, though? Oh, I can heal outside of combat. Okay, that's good. Okay, I can't hit Y. Nope, that was full screen. Great. This is the part where Jatsu just chill. Just chill, I didn't. We're good, we're all good. We can all be friends. We can all be friends. This is all the part where I share some fears about swapping discs. I want to point out that the captain gives you a map of the entire world, and it's the shittiest map imaginable. Like it's literally the worst map ever. Alright, Oh, I had their weak spot and then I moved away. We can speak ill of the dead. Oh, I got heal. Is heal good? a heal spell. Wait, where am I going? Baldor. Oh, this looks bad. Is this a boss? This looks small. No, no, I don't like that. Shit. I'm dead. Just getting used to it. Give me some credit. No, I fucking forgot to hit the button. Fuck you. Yeah, like, again, this is natural learning of the game's mechanics. Like, give me some credit. I gotta fucking learn these patterns on my own. Like, it's not natural to me. Therefore, it shouldn't be expected that I know all of this in the first place. Right, Dad? Oh, I think I'm by myself. So I guess I can talk crap about Brayden now.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, do it.
You're actually one of my closest friends, and I feel like I need to be more mindful that things that I say can be hurtful. And for reasons that I don't want to get into specifics, I don't have that little switch in my head that tells me when I should stop.
We all have that little switch in our head that tells us when to stop. It's called shame.
Oh no! Jeff says that he's gonna be with me soon. He's gonna be inside my ear hole. Then he's going to taunt me with his insults You're not playing my Saturn game that very well. Why are you using Yabuse? Yabuse is easier to switch discs.
I found a secret thing. This game's very good, Baldergate. I will, if you would like to know what I did, we can talk about it. Off stream, or if people actually care about a game that everyone is playing. So the Githyanki Krish. There's some good stuff in here. I'm glad I decided not to skip it. I'll put it that way. Even if you go through the Underdark, instead of going through the Mountain Pass, maybe look at the Githyanki Krish.
You know I need me some Githyanki.
Listen, they're a bunch of astral pirates who serve a lich
natural
queen.
life. I'm shooting them fish. Shooting them fish. Fuck them fish. I didn't even get a chance to dodge that. That I could have dodged. Chain laser.
So I did decide to romance Lizelle.
Oh,
Because I can fix her.
Isn't that a hot take based off of what M Palladino said? M said she thought that they were bad.
Listen, just because she's the member of a warrior race who views all others as inferior,
as is usually the case.
And also basically only respects strength and violence, doesn't mean I can't fix her. Also, she's a fighter and she does very well.
I'm gonna guess, this is my prediction. When you save, that's where you restore your BP points.
Hello?
Hi, Jeffersons.
Hi. I told you I was coming.
Oh, Jeffrey.
We should start an account for that then.
You're gonna get kicked off this platform. Yeah, okay. I've lost count of all the wrong things you've said, so I'm not even gonna bother. I'm just gonna start from zero.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, the main thing is it seems like you found the mappings for the A and B buttons, which lets you just fire a laser or fire your gun.
Yeah.
Because using the menu every time would be a nightmare.
Killing all the flora and fauna.
Yeah.
There's no
I don't know how
morality.
much.
Just fucking kill these animals.
Yeah, this valley has there's like weird bespoke mechanics and parts of this game that don't show up anywhere else. Like when you're shooting those weird little like wagon carts that are hanging around in this valley, you have to like time your shots, make them bounce around, not
Yeah,
use
it's
anywhere
annoying.
else. Yeah, it's kind of. What other fun questions? The weird thing is you're like a quarter of the way through the first disc already. Like you could probably finish this whole thing tonight if you wanted.
Yeah, and then there's also another chunky cutscene coming up. So
yeah.
controls. They're an important part to a lot of video games.
Yeah, some would say they're how you interface with the game. They get you in the game.
The game is inside me, and I'm inside the game.
What would you like to know?
Well, why doesn't this have mouse and keyboard support?
Moving on. I should probably tell Gino that the podcast is done.
So I'm assuming that there are certain times when the gun is better than the dragon laser.
Yeah, you'll notice really quick because one will be doing 0 damage and the other one will be doing incredible damage.
No, that's not the person I want. He's got weakness. God damn it! I pressed it. It's like a rhythm game.
That's just like this game does a lot of like teaching without being like do this, and once you figure out how to like take down a mob, you can do it in seconds, and then those mobs tend to show up in whatever zone you're in, like kind of repeatedly, but you just kind of chew through them. And when you couple that with you don't really need to grind in this game, you don't spend a lot of time just mired in like random encounter shit. It's nice.
Damn it.
So did you get the forms yet?
What?
The different dragon forms.
No.
Okay. Do you have spells?
I've got heal.
Okay, good. Okay, that's how they got around that. Cool.
I've got ability. I've got berserk list. I've got chain laser. And heal.
Outside of, I guess that makes sense. It's been a while since I've done that.
Why are the random encounters popping off like either not at all or fuck, it's this encounter?
They're thicker in spots than they are in others. Trying to remember how much.
At least I figured out how to deal with this one.
So the thing
Bob
about
back and forth.
you should try
God
using
damn
your you should try using your pistol on it instead of the laser. Because it's a single target as opposed to multiple. That's usually like the tell. So what you yeah.
Fuck. You ass bitch. Yeah, so every enemy encounter has a pattern.
Yes.
And as someone playing this blind without a guide, it's just taking me time to figure this shit out.
That's kind of how they intended it to go. Like, once you learn it, you never have to relearn it for like each one of these. And
which is a novel system, and it deals with sometimes what people perceive as the difficulty curve with JRPGs, where it's like, fuck, man, this enemy really does require me to just grind for 4 hours before I'm able to kill it. And so if you can learn the pattern, I've oscillated back and forth about whether or not this the exploratory elements with some of these levels is actually good. Like some levels are better than others.
it makes a little more sense in the like closed environments, like when you're inside of a room or a house and you're just like looking around at stuff. But yeah, when you're having to slowly kind of pan and scan this little icon around like a valley, it feels a little worse.
And I said it before, and I will say it again. I think that the on-foot stuff just sucks shit.
Disagree.
Really?
I'm not like raving about it, but I wouldn't say it sucks shit.
I think that when you compare it to like the free-flowing, up-tempo kind of pace of the dragon combat, it's just very awkward and it feels slower.
Yeah. I mean, you've only been in like 2 environments where you can walk around, I think, at this point, right?
Yeah.
So you've not been in like
But it's such
a town or
so pretty. And the music in this game is phenomenal.
どこまで続いてるんだ
But as Jatsu has pointed out, it really is weird when the game oscillates between the fake language that every Panzer Dragoon game has and
it's literally called Panzerese.
and the Japanese.
Yeah. It pretty much sticks with Japanese throughout from this point forward. Like the intro goes heavy on the
Fake
Panzer.
language.
I kind of hate the word Panzerese. There are moments where Panzerese will pop up again going forward, but it's pretty much all in Japanese going forward. Like you're gonna get one soon that's in Panzerese, and then I think it drops off for like literally 10 hours. And the game's like 15, 20 hours long. At least I don't remember a lot for the first. Let's say discs 2 and 3 are like 99% Japanese.
And the decision to have a lot of the world building be locked away with reading weapon bios is such a dumb decision, because this is such a phenomenal, interesting, bizarre world that deserves better.
I'd
But
like
I think
to say
the budget clearly went into the visuals and the set pieces to where what they were capable of doing, like in terms of the number of NPCs and the number of environments, was they pushed themselves technologically. I feel sorry for this guy's mount. That bird thing did not deserve that death.
this is, to the best of my knowledge, the first game of this type that is exclusively in 3D,
Yeah.
which apparently led to just a production nightmare.
Yeah, this game had... It would be safe to call that this game had development hell.
Yeah, unlike it held that, like the developer, his name is now gone, the Panzer Dragoon man, the man who made
Panzer Dragoon.
yeah, Mr. Steve Panzer Dragon, basically said like any point in my life since then when things are hard, it's like, well, at least it's not going to be as hard as making Panzer Dragoon Saga.
Anachronauts, we're fighting them. Good old Anachronauts, my best friend.
Yeah, as Jatsu's pointed out, 2 of the developers literally died during the production of this game as well, which was, they didn't die, one of them was a car accident if I recall. That's a drag. There were 2 translators on the English version, and one of them had, not pneumonia, but was coughing up blood
God
like
damn
pretty
it.
bad late in like the work of translating this game.
Ah, I got a Keurig.
Well, this is a fun boss fight because it's very trying to teach you about the positional stuff in this game specifically.
Wait, I should use the gun.
Should use the gun. Or maybe it's just a matter of your position. Maybe you gotta shoot it in the ass.
I'm trying to. It doesn't let me do that.
I wonder how you could maybe get it to let you do that.
Shooting in the booty hole.
So I wrote earlier that there's some tech in this game, and a thing that you're gonna have a real problem with, not impossible, but a problem, is eventually these fights become a lot easier if while you're turning, you are holding down an attack button. So as soon as you wind up in the position you're going to wind up in, you're already locking in to make an attack.
I can do that.
Yeah. As long as you know how to do both those things, just basically hold down whatever fucking keyboard setup you've
God
got.
damn it, I didn't pull it off there. Goodness seize.
But people just do Twitch all day, huh?
Yeah, that's what they do.
Whatever.
I've been here this entire time.
I've heard you. I've just
Hello, Jeff. It's me. I'm the other
Normally,
person.
we have to do a
on the
podcast
podcast.
for me to have all two of my best friends together.
Does that make you feel
Otherwise,
better?
I'm usually alone, talking to myself.
did it. It got its stick stuck in the opening. Now you can kill it.
Four.
My wife made some kind of like black bean
Oh, he devoured it.
okey mixed stir fry thing. From
I
the
got
bag.
bored.
It's pretty fucking good.
Oh, god damn it.
Alright, because it's just gonna keep getting your goals, just make it realistic. Just beat it up. I'm curious if this is gonna hold for you two as well, but I'm pretty close to the end of this game and I've not died once. I got really close.
I'm going to definitely die just by the limitations of how I'm playing this.
I got down to 8 hit. Like I probably should have died. I think a die roll kept me from dying, but other than that, I've been. I think one of my main gripes with this game is it's just kind of piss easy a lot of the time.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die here. I'm actually gonna die, Jeff.
I actually don't know what the game looks like in this game. So, this is neat. Whoa, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry guys, I just oh, it's gonna do it
Am
by
I-
save.
Am I putting you under pressure? My pressure?
No, I was kind of listening to you and then just like not actually.
Is it the sound of my voice?
At least you can skip. Like, I'm actually surprised that this game allows you to skip cutscenes.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, especially the PS1. The PS1. Games
very proud.
straight up did not fucking let you skip cutscenes.
Like, why would you? It's why you bought this thing, you dumb fuck.
It's like, this is not what I want. This is not what I'm asking for. This is what I need in my life right now. Clearly, Jeff is right. The technique is to fucking use the gun.
Single target. Easy. Eventually, you'll come on enemies that'll just say like anti-homing or anti-laser or some such on them
Oh
too.
shit. Didn't mean to fucking fall into the tentacles. But I had enough time to switch. No, fuck! That shouldn't have. I'd have had the timing on that one.
tricks. Josny points out correctly, there are also a few fights where you need to save your leader for like very specific actions, some of which that you just don't have available to you yet. But and yeah, it becomes this weird. I hadn't really thought of it this way until the second time watching me play this. This
Yeah,
game's
see-
got some like rhythm
The first time it was me just spending almost the entire battle figuring out what was the pattern. And I figured out the pattern after failing once.
to melts, right?
Like, that's cool. That's a cool idea.
The feeling that the game wants you to play. Right? Still don't think people should buy this game.
Not for $200.
I paid $300 US for my loose copy, and people should not do that. It's really wild to think, though, that, like, practically speaking, in the United States,
Oh, god damn it.
like, Sega didn't have games on shelves for, like, 18 months, except for,
Yeah.
like, sell-through.
Well, Borgmaster was talking about that. You have to remember, like, oh, fuck, god damn it. That, like,
Shut up. Right.
god damn it. I'm trying to fucking use items, too. But Borgmaster was talking about how, like, the Sega Saturn had an okay launch, and then it was just, like, radio silence for, like, months.
Almost like, you know, maybe surprising all of your third-party.
Also, Saturn Day was, like, a disaster.
The full arc went the Saturn Day launch, which was for the retailers a disaster, and kind of for people a bummer, because the amount of games was kind of weird. Christmas '95 was okay because they got Virtua Fighter, Virtua Cop, and Sega Rally out, basically all on that Christmas, which is like 3 of the best fucking games on the platform, like all at once. It's really insane, and they did a bundle with like all 3 of those included in it, which is even crazier. And then yeah, 96 was like slow, and then 97 was when Final Fantasy 7 came out. That
This also came out the same year as Ocarina of Time, and that game...
yeah, like 8 months apart, but
8 months apart, but the hype
The-
for Ocarina of Time was just eclipsing everything that the Saturn was doing.
yeah,
People
like,
were
as-
excited about that game even before its release.
the Saturn would I think the last retail game for the Saturn came out in November '98 in America. In Japan, it lasted until 2000, because things were different over there. And it was the fucking Working Designs translation of Magical Knight Rare,
Yes.
which was a game from 1995, I think. Because Victor Ireland gonna Victor Ireland. So yeah, from that point until the launch of the Dreamcast, there were basically no retail presence for Sega anything for like a year in North America, and I think that did way more damage to Sega.
So we, Borgmaster didn't have the answer. When did Bernie Stoller join the Sega team and basically set the entire house on fire?
なぜか言うことは聞いてくれるんだけど
I'm trying to remember the timeline for all this shit.
Because he's...
'Cause I don't remember if
He
was an
probably
employee
gets
in-
too much blame for pulling the plug on the Saturn, but...
I mean, he didn't come up with the marketing plan for the Saturn, which was you can put a good chunk of it there. I like the phrase, right? The Sega Saturn is not our future. That's like a bad thing to say about your flagship product.
He wasn't wrong.
He wasn't wrong in North America. Again, in Japan, different story. This is plot. Shut up.
俺たちが洞窟者なら帝国だってそうさ。あの宝の山が奴ら
Everybody's
のもんだって。
bad.
誰が決めた？
そのシーカーのあんたがなぜこんなところに？
仲間との合流地点に向かってたんだが、近道をしてたらあいつに襲われてな。いや、助かったよ。で、ついでと言っちゃなんだが、俺をそこまで運んでくれないか。いや、何、そう遠くはない。カイナスの村って言って、ここのすぐ南さ。そんなに警戒すんなよ。
God, this game has so much style,
一
though.
人旅には慣れてないんだろ。力になるぜ。
わかった。だけどその村に行くだけだ。
ああ、十分十分。ああ、自己紹介がまだだったな。俺の名はガッシュ。本名はスキアド・オプス・ガッシュって言うんだが。ああ、ガッシュでいい。こう見えてもこの辺りの情報には詳しいんだ。遺跡のこと、構成生物のこと、何だって教えてやるぜ。
Do you know? And Borgmaster says you're wrong. What if the Panzer Dragoon games made the dragons look a little bit more cuter?
So the Game Gear had a weird second wind in Japan when they re-released it, where they called it the Kids Gear. I think it was Game Kids. They released a second run of the Game Gear in Japan, very relatively late, like 1990. Like the Game Gear business in Japan was like never huge, and it was very desperate.
This is around the spot where I stopped my last playthrough, is the village of Canis.
Okay.
I like this location. This is maybe one of my favorite spots in the game so far. It's just checking out this deserted location, just finding people and seeing what they got to say.
The Sega Kids Gear. So they released a Panzer Dragoon game for that thing called Panzer Dragoon Mini, and it's kind of cute.
やられた？
Like the part where Gash tells his story at the campfire is,
あの化け物どもさ。
hey, it's the moment where I went like, okay, this game has something.
だが、
Behold
なんで突
some
然。
Vibes. But this is something I guess I'll posit to you. Borgmaster was talking about is like, has there ever been a franchise that tried
この辺りを調べ
as
て。
hard as the Panzer
悪い
Dragoon
が、もう
franchise
一晩だけ付き合ってくれ。
and consistently made good games but never achieved all that much with all of its efforts, quite like Panzer Dragoon?
Yeah.
Like, they made a lot of good Panzer Dragoon games, but it did not move the needle at any point.
I will say another long-running Sega RPG series with, I think, the same amount of games in it, also had similar problems, and that is Sakura Taisen. Those are lovingly made games, and they did reasonably well in Japan, and we've gotten basically 2 of them.
That 2019 game also underperformed, which probably sends the wrong message of, oh, we should just never bring anything to the West.
Yep, I bought that, and that game is ugly as fuck. I am bummed out by how the characters look in that game. Everything looks
You don't
cheap.
like the bleach guy?
Yep, it's rough. But yeah, I think that also has to be in the running there because those were not fobbed off games and they were pretty successful. Jatsu points out Phantasy Star and Shining Force. It's weird, like basically, yeah, most like Sega RPG franchises that they've tried
帝国じゃ逆の言われ方をしてるし
they've not half-assed
Fantasy
anything.
Star Online has a massive online community. What are you talking about?
旧世紀を滅ぼした悪魔だとよ
It does.
そりゃそうも言いたくなるさ奴ら何度も手痛い目に遭ってるからな
I was looking around on YouTube to see if anyone's gone through the trouble of like AI up-resing any of the cutscenes of this game, which there's quite a few. I couldn't find anything like that.
Yeah.
But hey, content creators with, you know, machine learning shit. There you go. There's the idea.
でこれからどうすんだい
Make me happy.
隊長にはクレイメンを追えって言われただけどそうじゃなくても隊
I
長や
thought
みんな
that
の
the original Phantasy Star games sold reasonably well on
それもいい
Genesis.
どちらにしてもよほどの目的がないと辛いからな辺境の
I don't have numbers in front of me, but if you told me that Phantasy Star 1 was like a top 5 seller on the Sega Mark III in Japan, I'd believe you. Yeah, it's like that and Hokuto no Ken, Fantasy Zone. Like,
あんたの目的は何なんだ
旅は俺か
Zillion, you know,
Billion?
all
I wonder.
all of the Sega Master System hits. Sonic the Hedgehog for the Sega Master System, the definitive version of the game.
The one that Janet Jackson ripped off.
You know,
That
we
user-
really
Hero
probably
did the
should
music
play.
for it.
いや
We really probably should play Shining in the Darkness, but boy, I don't wanna at all.
旧世紀
I
の
like
記録
Shining in
に
the
は
Darkness. Fine. It's not my favorite, but
No, I mean, with Off the Deep End, wouldn't it be more on brand to play
客人
Shining the Holy Ark?
Listen, I'll play Shining Force 3.
悪いが
Oh, that game's
Yeah, I mean,
so
now that we
long and
cracked-
boring.
I guess we already cracked open the
砂漠
Sega
へ向か
Saturn
ったぜ
seal, so to speak. But you
I'm
know,
surprised
there's,
that
like,
Braden, you didn't recommend that we play Shining
砂
Force
漠の構
Tactics
成生
for
物がここに攻め込んだのさ
Shining Force
You mean
Exo.
Shining Force 3?
3.
シーカーは死んでも仲間に情報を伝える
Remember
術を
the
知る
weird, like, PS2 reboot games, EXA? Like,
この村にいた
That's what I was
仲間
trying to
が残した
think of.
遺言さ
Like
So,
the weird thing
Shining
about
Force-
Shining Force EXA is that it's a weird cross between Record of Lodoss War and Diablo. And it's not a turn-based game; it's an action role-playing game.
It's a really normal company. In some sense, it's like a permanent tragedy that Sega doesn't make consoles anymore, and in some sense, it let them free to make like some truly insane shit on other platforms that I maybe don't think they had the stomach to
ああ俺も連れてってくれよ
had it
実は
been
こ
their
こで
baby
仲間と
anymore.
会った後
So you get weird
砂
shit
漠の
like
向こうで
that.
別のシーカー
I
と
just
合流する
I
はずだ
met
ったんだ
J.K. Simmons.
だけど一人で砂
So
漠
what
に
happens
出て
if you tell Gash that you're not going to help him get across the desert?
What if I told you you wind up in a but thou must situation?
Oh,
ありがたい
oh so
そ
he
の代わ
just
り
keeps
砂
asking.
漠の越え方は俺が教えてやるよ大丈夫任しときなって
You know, I actually don't know, because you may as well do it. I don't think it's gonna be like.
I said yes.
それがシーカーの鉄則だ砂漠の構成生物は地上に住んでるからな
So you've not seen any of this
地
yet.
下を通るって
This is where I stopped.
どうやって
Okay.
方法はいろいろある
Maybe.
ワームの抜け穴オアシスの水脈
God, the music
Got
in
it,
this
Sabak
game
nara,
is so
dekai chikai
goddamn good.
You're about to hear, I think, my
とに
favorite
かく地下
single
の
track in this game too. The desert. It's
とにかく地下の通り道を探すことだ遺跡の近くには水があることが多い砂漠の構成
Doggy's making weird little noises.
I'm just gonna skip over this.
地下にあるバカでかい遺跡
Uh-huh.
Gatsu, did you grow up
Sorry,
with a Sega Sorry, I'm reading chat for you, Chris. Did you grow up with a Saturn? I feel like I've asked you this before. No, he says. Not really. Oh, name your dragon. Very, very important.
Right.
The actual answer is it locks you out of a couple moves if you don't.
Okay. Just call him Dragon.
Yeah, you can do that, but you should. There are weird hidden mechanics in this game that are designed. They have to be designed to sell guides, basically. There's not a lot of them, but there are a couple. And I'm very excited to tell you about a couple of them.
Okay. I'm gonna name my dragon Butthole.
That's fine.
I think he's happy being called Butthole.
Datsu says, I had an N64 and purchased a Saturn when stores were trying to get rid of them, so I got mine on clearance. That was the move. When I was 8, my dad got stationed in Korea for a year, and before he left, he wanted to buy us like a game console.
Okay, let's
maybe
leave the camp.
You should leave the camp.
Let's check out the excavation site. Sure.
I'm going to tell you, the secret is, unless you're trying to find every item in this game, there's like no reason to backtrack. Pretty much ever. I will free you of this now.
Got a dingus chip.
Anyway, we wound up renting a PlayStation and then renting a Sega Saturn and some games for each one of them to like see which one stuck. And the game we rented with the Saturn was The Incredible Hulk, which is a famous piece of shit for that console. And the PlayStation game was Test Drive Off-Road, which was fun enough because we were 8, 7, and 5. So we wound up buying a PlayStation. And then when my dad was in Korea for half a year, he came back and he's like, my roommate has this thing. It's called an N64, and it has Mario Kart. So I'm buying one of these so we can play Mario Kart while I'm home for 2 weeks. And so we wound up with both. And that was my encounter with the Saturn until I was about 29, 30 years old. Was The Incredible Hulk, which I cannot emphasize is just piece of shit.
I guess I got some extra dialogue.
Yeah, you can really scrape everything out of this game and go revisit every place and talk to everyone. In fact, there's some times where talking to everyone multiple times is useful. But generally speaking, it's like once you're done with the place, you're kind of done with it. Unless someone's like, hey, you should go back here. You go, oh, okay.
So I guess I'll go to the Garel's desert.
You should, because it's going to give you, I think, the last missing piece of, like... So, like, right now all you're doing is just, like, shooting a gun or shooting lasers or, like, healing, right? Like, what? Okay, well, what else is there? It's going to show you pretty soon.
This game has a look.
The desert music is my favorite track.
The desert battle music, or
just this ambient flying around. The battle music. There's basically one battle. But it's good.
kill the queen. It's like what Ghost Dog said. Chop off the head, the body will die. I learned that from Ghost Dog, a Forrest Whitaker movie, where a man in the hood is learning to be a samurai.
What's your favorite inappropriate like person from another culture learns to be a warrior from another culture movie? Mine's the 13th Warrior.
Probably the Last Samurai.
Last Samurai's, yeah, Last Samurai's pretty good.
But yeah, you're right.
Warrior,
13th Warrior has Antonio Banderas doing an accent.
It's layers.
An
Yeah,
accent.
he is
That's
a man from Southwest Asia. He is a dude acting like a dude acting like another dude. In that movie, in a way that is kind of amazing. So in my head, there's something out here that's one of the like.
I found this on the ship, but yeah, you're right. I feel like someone told me that there's something here that I should find before continuing the battle.
I'll just tell you, like the main like, if you're trying to do everything, you want to find all of these things. There are these items in this game called D units. There are 12 of them. They are, yes, exactly. They are scattered throughout this game in different areas. If you wind up with all 12 of them, you will hit an evolution of your dragon that is otherwise impossible to obtain. I can't vouch for that evolution being worth a damn or not, but that's out there. To be honest, I don't think it really matters. Like I don't think you're gonna have a problem either way. And the process of getting a couple of them is actually kind of maybe the worst part of the game. Not that I'm trying to help you have a better time, but if I were. Yeah, it's, again, the game's relatively easy.
I think that the game is just constantly at odds with its technical ambition and its desire to do something very, very technically difficult. And it's like, RPG? RPG. RPG? Like, in a lot of ways, I feel like...
このコブまさかズスか
ズースなんだ
見てればわかる
the most disgusting...
来るぞ
Oh, it's-
こいつも構成生物なのか
I'll also say, to the best of my knowledge, it's like perfectly possible to go back to like every location after you
ど
leave,
こかに隠されて
Yeah.
る
with a few exceptions,
見せば赤く光るはずだ
and you'll know.
こう集中攻撃すれば倒せる頼んだぞエイジ
Why do we have to fight a poor little flatfish?
あれが弱
Big
点だ
desert halibut. Halibut are really
Delicious. Halibut is delicious. Pain in the ass to try and catch in the wild, but they're delicious.
Yeah, my dad took me and my girlfriend, my now wife, halibut fishing a couple years ago, and Jesus Christ,
Not an easy fish to try and catch.
they have like a 500-gram weight on a line that's 300 foot down, and then a 75-pound fish
Oh,
decides to
dude,
bite.
that fucking killed me in one shot. What?
Were you over a red spot on the radar?
Yeah.
There you go. Always never do that.
Oh, wait, what? No. Wait, why did it reset? No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, you don't.
Did Mendefin do a poopy on the run?
Mednifin might have done a poopy for me. I mean, it's fine. It's Mednifin. It's free, readily. Oh, I see what's happening. Let's just not talk about this.
Let us never speak of this moment.
All right, how far back did that set me?
I will say, having the advantage of save states is nice.
Mm-hmm. I gotta call him Butthole again.
I am playing this game with an action replay in a Japanese Saturn, and it is
Playing
in
it on
the.
a controller?
I'm playing it on a controller.
Why would
The
you?
action replay is in the Game Genie-esque mode, as opposed to the memory card mode to run this game on a Japanese Saturn. So I only have access to the internal RAM as opposed to the additional memory that thing
とに
also
かく
has on it.
地下の
But eventually I want to back this save up.
わ死んだ
Also, just how insane it is, like the commercial trajectory of the Saturn, if that little cartridge port on the back had just been like Sega Mega Drive compatible, very different in the United States.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things. Like, what
They were more or less cannibalizing themselves for like 2 years. Like they were.
I mean, it gets into
Lost
the whole.
World came out
What if the
in
360 debuted with an HD DVD drive from the onset? And it's like, probably it would have just delayed the inevitable.
連中
It actually
Yeah,
would have
but I mean-
probably fucked over the 360. 'Cause they
But at
would've
least
been-
it debuted. Well, actually, I don't remember if the 360 was back compatible from the jump. I don't think it
No,
was.
you needed a HD DVD drive, and it was a separate thing that you
Why would you
dongled
need
onto
that
it.
for your Xbox games, though.
Xbox games are DVDs. 360 games are DVDs.
But I can pop Xbox games with my. I can drop them into my 360 right now, and they just go. They go burr. Curious. I should learn about that. I was very not in the Xbox ecosystem at the
360 is a
time.
good console.
It's good. I kind of want to upgrade to a 360e off of this 360 Slim at some point that I have in here. But even this thing is fine. It's just kind of loud. I kind of hate that man. It's also insane that you can play 2 of the 4 Panzer Dragoon games on a fucking Xbox.
Excellent. I got my first excellent. Hooray.
See, you get these little dopamine hits throughout too, where you're like, "Oh, I did that fight good."
I did it good. Now give me a Skinner box.
Yeah. And there's even some agency in that fight because if you want to, you can fight that whole mob, and you will get more experience for it, even if it does take more time.
Yeah.
And you're at the point where like experience games are, you know, the difference between 28 and 14 XP is a lot at this point in the game.
9世紀の沈没船か
Or you can just shoot the queen and be done.
Yeah.
Choice. Spicy.
砂があるやつに注意しろ
I think I already said this in the Discord. I don't think I said this on the didn't say this on the pod because I just edited it. So this game got a demo in Europe. And the demo is just this first disc. Like it's the whole thing.
What?
So in Europe, it is relatively easy to find the first disc of Panzer Dragoon.
Oh, I
Because
have
it was just
stop.
that's bad.
What's the difference between stop and paralyze?
stop won't let you move, won't let you rotate, I think is the difference.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So it's not paralysis. I have to say, some of the status effects in this game are much more debilitating than they feel like they should.
There's like half a dozen of them too. It doesn't employ them all that often, and when it does, it's usually like particularly painful.
Yeah.
Like they need to get dealt with like immediately because you are literally just one guy.
Oh, there's a map.
Something stupid. I don't remember.
Something stupid.
Yeah, something nonsense. Oh, in Europe. So they're like the first disc of this was just like included in magazines, and then the other 3 discs, I've seen that they printed 1,000 copies of this for PAL territories.
Yeah, that checks out.
Like, the Saturn was even more fucking dead over there than it was here.
That sounds like the most Sega thing imaginable.
I mean, they just pretty much folded up, like Sony beat them within an inch of their lives over there, over the first couple of years of like the PlayStation.
Oh yeah, they bought Psygnosis.
They bought Europe.
Yeah, they bought all the most Europe, and now Europe runs PlayStation.
Yeah.
And they're like, why would you ever want to play old Gran Turismo? You.
Why would you want to play old
Honestly, that person who makes Gran Turismo also is one of those weirdos that's like, I never play the old games, they're terrible.
Yeah, well, guess what? If you work for Polyphony Digital, you're already...
they fucking spent 6 years on a game that has like hundreds of PSP cars. Like, what the fuck is he talking? Like, I loaded up. I have Gran Turismo 6. I went through the horrible process of patching Gran Turismo 6 on a PS3 kind of recently because I'm an inquiring mind, and I was like, I want to drive around in a Volvo 240. That would be fun to just make a sleeper out of this Volvo, and it is dead ass the model from the PlayStation Portable version of Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
Which, hey, I get it, but I'm saying Forza didn't have that problem. Like, they looked fucking insane, like, in their day for the dumb thing they were doing.
Oh, shit.
The Pink Gorilla, the shop that's in Seattle, it used to be, they would usually have like a copy of the Zell. Like they have, it's like one of the only stores in the area that just has like import Saturn stuff. And I've been wanting to buy a copy of the Japanese version of this game just to put my American copy in. And
What the fuck?
that's gone. It's not. You can. It's gone up a little bit, but I mean, I'd be regularly for like $45, 40, 50-ish, which is silly to pay for a thing that I'm literally just going to use as a case. But you know, it'll sit next to my other Japanese Saturn stuff. That'll be nice. This sick copy of Panzer Dragoon Saga.
Zwei actually is maybe, if someone were to ask me, what do I think is the actual best Panzer Dragoon game? Zwei 2 would probably be the answer.
That's pretty much where I went. Like, I like Panzer Dragoon 1. It's just kind of simple.
And again, like I said, I have a lot of nostalgia for Orta just because it's the game that introduced me to the entire franchise. So, as a result, maybe I like that game more than I should. But Zwei 2 is a goddamn masterpiece.
Orta's good. I don't really have a problem with it. It's just, can get balls hard, and it's just a little fiddly.
Oh yeah, that game is so annoying.
Like, I realize that makes me sound like a little diaper baby, but like, it's just...
No, the last 2 or 3 levels in that game are a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Which seems to be like the antithesis of the Panzer Dragoon franchise, which is, yo, the franchise is kind of piss easy, no matter what.
Yeah. It is doing something with a mechanic that you're about to learn about in Orta, that I just think is implemented. I don't know how they could have made it any different. I don't know.
One is not easy.
Instead of them are like,
You really pushed yourself.
If anything, this is the easiest game in the series, I guess. But I think RPGs are just kind of at their core easy, because again, you've got like the RPGs that descend from Dragon Quest are at their core easy, and that is a specific design decision that they made making Dragon Quest. Right? It's like,
so I forget.
If you have a hard time,
do you want to fight the worms in this game, or in this desert level, or do you not?
They're part of the environment. I don't think you fight them.
No, but I think you can fight them. I just forget if they're like super hard or just. This is also a game where it feels as if the random encounters are just gonna get you there.
That's like you don't need to do too much grind in this game.
Let's get out of here.
Kind of nuts. You could play through this whole series in like 24 hours.
So for those of you thinking of charity stream ideas, this might be one of them. Yeah, what if you did that, Jeff?
Like the Super Mario Hour thing that Cosmic and these people are doing for speedruns. It's just... I had a like, I guess it would be a speed run in mind where I wanted to start a new like PSN account or Xbox account and play Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection and just platinum that game. Which would involve, I don't remember, I think there's like 40, 50 some odd games in there. There's not a trophy attached to each one of them, but there's a trophy attached to like a majority of them. So it would be this sprint doing like 3 or 4 dozen weird Sega things and then clicking through a bunch of menus and then grokking this platinum. And I timed it out and I was like, you could probably do this in like 6 to 8 hours. Like start to finish. The hardest one would probably be fucking Mean Bean Machine, which is Puyo Puyo 2. But there's a cheat code you can use to get to the last level of that campaign, and at that point it's just like be slightly better than a robot who's really good at Puyo Puyo.
Yeah.
And you can lock that one out. I'm not great at Puyo Puyo, but I did it and I've platinumed that game because of it. Otherwise it was never going to happen. So based on that, I'm like, I could probably do this. This is actually kind of doable. Jatsu's talking shit about Flicky though, and I gotta say you're way out of line. Flicky is awesome.
This is
I
where I
like-
say, I
I
don't.
will not stand for Flicky slander.
I don't really like. I've said this before. I don't like columns.
Yeah, I don't love columns either.
Controversial take.
It's at least not that hard. Like I don't have a hard time with columns. I just find it kind of dull. But I mean, I knocked out that columns achievement in like fairly short order. It's not bad. It's not nearly as bad as Puyo Puyo for me, which I just tend to struggle with a lot. Watching people play Puyo Puyo at a high level, like I understand like the fundamentals of like the staircase or like step pattern thing, but then I like get into a match and my brain just goes like you did, but it drop, go down, and it's like shit. I give up. Makes me feel like a real dum-dum.
I literally took like 2 steps, 2 flaps with the dragon wings, and I got to a new.
The most frustrated I got with this game was actually yesterday, and I'm gonna say I'm like halfway through the 4th disc, and I got into a situation that was an even worse version of that, where the move was just to hit reset and just go back to a save. Because I was like, I'm fucking stuck, and every time I move, a battle spawns, and this is bullshit.
I am like 30 minutes away from the end of disc 1. So I am of the opinion to just...
You're a little more than that. You're getting to like the last big like tutorialized thing on disc 1.
Oh, okay. Then I think I'll
Then
get
you
to
prob-
that.
After that, you probably get another hour.
ワームの妖精を助けんのか合成生物なんざほっときゃいいのによ
いいじゃないか。人助けみたいなものだし。
Oh, I saved the baby worm, and now I'm looking at the worms are thankful of my efforts.
They just unlock the rest of it, if I recall.
But where was it? Where is this? Where is this worm family's thing? Draw distance in this game is not great.
No. But that is 100% plotting accurate in the simulator. It does not draw far at all.
Alright, so I'll probably get to this tutorial thing that you're talking about and then call it. I will practice real quick, reminding myself how to do disc swapping. Because I move on. Oh, I got a mauler.
So you should go ahead and equip that like right now.
Okay, how do I do that?
So open your menu.
See abilities. Oh, nope. I keep hitting the wrong buttons because they're not mapped right. Okay, so... Okay, I think it's already equipped, Jeff.
Go to your item list, specifically. Sorry, there's a little bit of a video lag. So first item on the list there. All the way at the bottom, there's a little gun icon.
Oh, that's a gun thing?
That is a little gun all the way at the bottom of those 4 buttons.
Okay. I feel like this could be explained a little bit better.
Yeah, I don't think anyone in this game actually walks you through this part too, but maybe they ought to. The good news is you have to mess with this part of the game like 4 more times ever. This game does not have a lot of equipment.
Yeah, that's what Jatsu was saying, is like, if you really enjoy equipping things and playing around with inventory stuff in RPGs, this is a disappointment.
Yeah, it is. There is a paucity of any of that shit.
Which I guess,
You
again,
know-
like, this is something that even Square did, because if you compare what Final Fantasy games were like in the 16-bit era, like, there was a mechanical step backward to make way for all of the development time they were putting into 3D models. So
Yeah.
I get that. That is something that makes sense to me.
I think you're probably gonna want
I'm gonna want to save.
気をつけ
よ
ろ奴は撃った方向に確実に反撃してく
to
る
give
ぞ
yourself life points.
Acid phlegm. I know that. Oh, I think I just died.
Oh, Chris.
Let's load up by a save state. That's why I have them.
Yes, you should.
And let's do that healing now. This game does give you a ton of fucking healing items.
It does.
Which
It
is
makes
appreciated.
sense in this specific chunk of the game too, because you've not got all of your abilities that you will be using.
Yeah, it's I. Okay, so maybe my first reaction on Discord was based off of me struggling with the controls of the game, not having a good time as a result of the controls.
I just wanted to hear you say it one time. That's all I wanted.
Did you hear it, Brayden?
I heard him say it.
But you're never gonna make me play an RTS or a fucking point-and-click adventure game with a controller. I refuse.
So you're when are we gonna get the 360 version of Battle for Middle-earth 2?
You know what? The odd thing is
That's
I've
fair.
only played the 360 version of Battle for Middle-earth because I was a kid and I didn't know any better.
What are your thoughts on Halo Wars?
I think Halo Wars is actually not that great. Halo Wars 2, on the other hand, is actually a good game. But no, Halo Wars is just Age of Empires 0.1.
So ultimately, you are going to wind up going through this that green spot in the middle of this map.
Yeah?
But I'm wondering if the save was before or after you picked up the Mauler, which you should probably go get again if you don't have it. Jatsu, there's a Halo Wars 2, and it's actually the premise of basically Halo Infinite
Requires
makes
you
Halo
to have
Wars 2.
parts
It's like
of Halo
required
Wars 2.
reading.
The main villains of Halo Infinite are the villains of Halo Wars 2.
Yeah.
I think I'm the only person in the world who liked Halo 5, like, even a little bit.
I think Halo 5 is here. Also, Justin would join me saying that.
Like, that game is
When
totally
I played it for the
fine.
charity stream, I was underwhelmed.
It's definitely not a patch on those first 3 games, but I liked it a lot more than 4.
Oh, fuck. Jeff, you're right. I forgot to pick up the fucking weapon. God damn it.
That's alright, you just gotta rescue that baby, it'll knock a hole in the thing, and you go down. I've also double checked, and actually immediately after this desert is the end of Disc 1. So, if you wanted to plow through, you could do it. But you don't have to. You are the
Like I
master
said, I
builder.
want to do that tutorial thing, and that's maybe. Actually, yeah, that does sound good. Is like back half of Disc 1 and then all of Disc 2 next stream when I do this.
Yeah, you go rescue a little baby worm in a what do you want to call it? Quick sandy
Pit.
boy. Get that Mauler.
Wait. Where's the item?
It's in a different hole, so you need to go rescue that worm. The save is from a little bit before you did all that.
Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
But... Oh, fuck, you're right. I accidentally took the passage to the worm. But...
You just went back in there.
I know! I know! I didn't know what I was doing.
It's easier to control it, you know.
What?
In 1957, researchers at Brookhaven National Labs put together a thing called Tennis for Two,
Yeah.
which they used to sell civilians on military technology. Because they're like, how could we demonstrate plotting ballistic courses in a way that civilians would understand? Like, what if we made it into a tennis thing? And to control that, they made these things called motherfucking controllers.
What the fuck are you talking about?
And I've seen them.
Sounds like awfulness.
It's only
Do you know how
it's
many
only-
keys? I've got hundreds of keys on this keyboard.
It's only 75-year-old technology.
I've got hundreds of keys that I can program.
Hundreds of
Which
keys,
I did
you
not
don't know
do.
where the mapping to the A button is yet.
Where was the worm again?
I don't know, and the thing is, you
love
will
that.
100% be able to buy that piece of equipment later on in the game. This is just a free one.
Oh, I see. It's right there.
I will also say the economy in this game is a little weird.
I think I saw
Ah,
either
well,
Jotsu
you'll
or
say we'll
Boardmaster
task him,
say that it's really
Also
hard to
say
get
it's
money
like, "Hottokiはいい
and
のにな."
resources during some parts of the game, and then there are times where you're literally rolling.
人助けみたいなものだし
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, 90% of the stuff you are picking up that isn't like lore text is just vendor trash or healing potions. So, like, once you realize you can sell 90% of the stuff that is a yellow icon, spoilers, you will not want for money again, which sounds like a good problem to have, except then the game kind of run out of stuff for you to buy pretty quickly.
But yeah, I don't mean to sound rude or anything, but to me, I think it makes perfect sense that this game tanked.
I mean, it was critically well received is the thing. It's just it was like if I told you
Hey, we took
like
the
it,
Panzer
like if I were to
Dragoon
tell you,
games.
yeah, like there was this incredible stage show that I saw, and they did 3 performances of it ever. You'd be like, oh, that's neat. I'm never going to experience that, and you'd be correct. Like being like, yeah, oh, it was a fucking incredible thing, and it's happening somewhere that no one went, that no one can go to anymore, and it's impossible for you to like go experience. Then no one's gonna give a fuck.
Now I'm gonna
man.
save state.
It's like tree falling in the woods stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
But no, I mean, like, if you were someone who was really into the original Panzer Dragoon games, and, like, the mechanics were what, like, the weird arcade-like sensibilities of the franchise were what resonated with you, I could see, like, this game not being a thing you wanted to sign up for.
Yeah, it's definitely a different thing.
It's cool. I mean, remember when Sega took risks? I mean, you could even argue that they take risks with the Yakuza
And
games.
Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah, you know, the creator of those new Sonic games that from Sonic Team that are actually good. Seems like a cool dude. What with him constantly liking hardcore pornography where men are sucking on titties, gotta respect it.
気をつけろ
What's
奴
not
は
to
歌
hate
ここに
there?
確実に反撃してくるぞ
Man likes to watch people suck titties. The last time I checked, that wasn't against law.
Yeah, I think it is less a matter of as pointing out. I pretty much agree with it. It's less a tanking thing, more a like no one showed up. Like at this point, the Saturn crowd in the United States was probably in the thousands. even I think the most like die-hardy of them probably wound up buying PlayStation. Like honestly, they were just as well served owning a Sega Genesis for these things.
Yeah, and well,
it's a laundry
so
list of shit.
I feel like we should bring this up, but like something that definitely hurt the Saturn, and I think that I've seen Pandemonium bring this up, but like the weird attempts that Sega made to extend the lifespan of the Genesis absolutely had an impact on the Saturn. Like all of the weird attachments, the 32X and the CD, like they were not commercially viable, or they were not.
Don't forget, what was it, the Neptune?
Yeah, they were not big sellers, but it divided developers. It was a confusing message for developers to discern. And when you have someone like Nintendo and then eventually Sony, where it's like, just one console, just one thing, develop for it. It's like, of course you're going to do that, and all, you know.
I mean, that was like, the PlayStation never wound up with like a RAM expansion. Like the Saturn still had shit you could cobble into it. Like they kind of learned nothing. The PlayStation that you bought in 1994 had games coming out for it until 2005 in Europe. Like with no external, like there was a parallel port on the back of that thing, and there was like virtually nothing that used it outside of like cheap devices. Like it was just the unit. It was clever. Like there's a reason this all broke the way it did. But yeah, they absolutely cannibalized themselves. Like in Japan, they were fucking smart because they basically spun the Genesis down by like mid-95. Like there were no more releases for that thing. I think the Sega CD was also pretty well like done doing business there at that point. Like they went all in on the Saturn. If you wanted a Sega game, it was coming out on the Saturn. In the United States, again, that was not a thing until about mid-1997.
Yeah.
Like they were literally just.
And this is something that Jatsu brought up before you got here, but like, Sega Japan and Sega USA did not see eye to eye on anything. And that was a problem.
Rio also points out correctly the price point difference was also actually.
Oh yeah, $299. Like fucking $299. Like
yeah, I mean they wound up
the single greatest E3 moment, the most important E3 moment in the history of E3, $299. Like, say what you will about the whole game sharing thing with PlayStation, which was very funny and very good, but like, $299 was the greatest E3 moment ever.
And I mean, like, Sega had to walk back the $399 pretty quickly, and by like a year out, they were bundling 3 more or less brand new games in with every one. So at that point, you're
which increased the cost of the Saturn then.
Yeah, so I mean, like, at that point, every unit that you are selling is losing you even more money. And the idea is, oh, it's okay, we'll make it up on the software, and then not a lot of software is coming out. So it just becomes this death spiral. So, like, again, when Bernie Stoller is like, the Saturn is not the future, he was saying that because it was fucking killing him. Like, that came from somewhere.
Also, in hindsight, is the Genesis the only Saturn, or the only Sega console that made them money?
No. You could say that about the Master System as well.
The Master System, okay.
And I don't have Saturn numbers in Japan in front of me, but when you factor in the global thing, that's a no-no. So pretty much, yeah. Like, and it was kind of a loss leader at a point to make it like Tom Kalinski's whole thing was, we need to cut the price of this thing like immediately, and we need to pack in Sonic when it comes out. And Sega of Japan was not into this idea, but he was like, yo, trust me, $199, pack in Sonic. And they're like, okay, because and it worked. Because they're like, Americans are price conscious. Let's be polite. Like, and this is what is going to work. And it did. So, like, was it a loss leader for quite a while? Yeah, but eventually it probably turned a corner on that, and they made it up in software. Okay, so I think one of these you wind up being able to pick up eventually. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the actual like dark secret of this game right now.
Wow.
So you can get graded in this game for like a completion percentage at the end. That does functionally nothing.
ガッシュ
But there are
あ
some
れがオアシス
weird little hidden
あ
fucking things in this
あだ
game
けど戦略への
that
入り
if
口が
you do every single one of
旧世
them
紀の遺物に隠さ
will
れてるな
increase your gamer score
Is
20
that the
hours.
only thing that it does?
Basically, what like the net effect is it'll give you like slightly more story at different points, but it's not going to keep you from actually progressing in this game. So I think what you're getting out of one of those is eventually a puff
滅
of
し始めた
fucking dander or
他の遺物
something
に同調した
that you can take somewhere else and do something
どっ
with.
かであれと同じような形をした
I
遺物
don't
が作動を始めたはずだ
remember exactly
そいつを探そうぜ
where it needs to go. But I can tell you, not plot essential.
Yeah, you're right. The draw distance in this game is such a pain.
Pretty bad. You need to go right back where you were, and I think like on that
We get a
thing,
random encounter.
just turn on the encounter none card that you picked up.
It's such a pretty and great sounding game. And there's something, and Rio's here who is also an artist, but like Gerard's shading, I realize is highly impractical for the lay artist, but it has a look. It has a look. Like non-flat shading techniques. There's a reason why the non-flat shading techniques lost out to flat shading, because flat shading is just easier. But they really do look just fucking great. They look so good.
So I think Braden's here still,
I'm still here.
Let
and
me-
we have other witnesses. So I'm going to say this now, just to stake my claim in this small chunk. I think the first disc of this game
a minute,
is
I'm
at
gonna get a glass
least-
of water.
it's at least in punching distance of the whole Midgar chunk of Final Fantasy VII. I think it's about that good. That's not me saying this game is as good as Final Fantasy VII, but I think this first disc is very solid and very well paced and very good at teaching you how to play the game, and shows off a bunch of really cool shit and is, to be frank, the best part of the game. Kind of like Final Fantasy VII.
Okay. Let's check things out. But yeah,
TP, did you hear my claim?
no, I did not hear what you said.
The first disc of this game is about as good as the Midgar chunk of Final Fantasy VII.
Really? I
Yeah. I think they're different. They're different.
they're different.
But
okay.
I think when you'll understand me fully here pretty soon. I think they have a similar arc. I think you know what I mean.
Or don't necessarily agree with you.
Sure, that's fine. Which is a better term used in visual arts, garage shading or Blinfong reflection model?
What did you just call me?
Blimfong reflection modeling is another alternative to flat shading That one is just was retired almost out of necessity because it is just too hard on hardware, even today.
Looking at this shit just makes me realize I should take an actual math course at some point in my life.
I thought you were a math man. You do computers.
I have a history degree, Chris.
We're all 3 history majors, and we don't.
I fell backwards into this life. And I am working on falling the fuck out. I'm so goddamn done doing this job. Decided to go into a more lucrative career. Be an elder care.
Is there any reason to shoot these plants? I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go.
Honestly, no. Just fucking no.
Value my time. I'm gonna go.
I'll tell you, having played through this game blind, whatever it did for me, didn't really stay.
やつは背中が弱点だ。よく狙えよ。
Whack daddy, they fucking hop and change their position. Stay in spot for me to shoot my dragon juice at you, bitch. These are things that I said, and I don't regret it. Level 7. Is there a level cap in this game?
I don't know. I have no idea. I'll say for reference, I'm like halfway through the 4th disc of this game and I'm at level 41. And I might be slightly over leveled.
If you're asking for those that are new, because it seems like there are people who are new here, I did name my dragon Butthole. Because I think he's an ugly little goblin. I still don't think that the dragons look cool.
I don't know. I didn't know who the French comic Mobius was until I started learning more about this game, and I kind of like that art style, I guess.
Yeah, Mobius is super important too. Like, he's kind of up there with like the Moomins, where he had a revival in Japan.
Yeah.
God, the Moomins, huh? Japan loves
Goddamn
those fucking
fans.
goddamn things. My grandmother would watch the fucking Moomin specials, the original 60s anime specials.
Was she
Whenever they
into
were on
Pango?
NHK. Huh?
Too? Was she into Pango?
Yes, absolutely.
I've learned that Pango specifically was really big in Japan.
Super. And Columbo.
There's not a lot of translating that needs to get done for Pango.
I remember Jason Sumo was talking about how he was trying to watch sumo, and instead of showing sumo, NHK was doing a special that celebrated the anniversary of Columbo.
You heard that story about Colombo and the Romanian government?
No.
You should really heal yourself, by the way. So, you know, they're filming Columbo, right? And Peter Falk said a man from the Romanian embassy came to him one day and he's like, hi, Peter Falk. We'd like you to come do a shoot for us at the Romanian embassy. And he was like, they're like, we'll pay you. And he's like, okay. And he's like, so what's the shoot? And he's like, all right, so here's the deal. We pay an import fee to get Columbo over that we can film or like show on Romanian television. Like we pay for the rights for that. And it's huge. People fucking love it. And they really love it. And in fact, it's kind of a problem because we run out of episodes and people are upset. They think we're holding back Columbo. So we want you to shoot a thing where you explain to people that you actually only shoot like 6 episodes at a time. So they don't kill
us.
Shishiku. So he did. There's this spot that he filmed for the Romanian government that's like, hey guys, it's Peter Falk here. Just wanted to let you know that we'll be making more Columbo as fast as we can. We only do 6 episodes at a time, basically. Like it was big enough to nearly like kill the longest leader of the Soviet bloc. I guess it wasn't that bad.
So the other thing is I don't know if people really know this, but like Kojak was super popular in Turkey.
Huh.
Because they thought that he was a Muslim man. They thought that he was Arabic
like
because...
Tony Salavis?
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And so it's like, here's a Arabic man that's using his intuition to solve crimes. This is great. But yeah,
I love
Kojak
that
was
dude.
huge in Turkey.
I have a friend who embedded with the Kurds during the worst parts of the ISIS fighting. And on his way there, he had to go through Turkey as a third nation, basically. And he got detained while he was going through. And why is this coming out? Oh, it's because of Turkey, right? They were like, hey, you're just traveling? He's like, yep. Like, where are you traveling? He's like, oh, around. And they were like, cool, can we see all these journals you have with you? And he's like, oh, fuck, I didn't get rid of all my fucking journals. They have all my notes. They're gonna know I went to fucking Kurd territory. Anyway, so we got held in an airport for, like, longer than he wanted. But, they're interrogating him, basically. And they're like, oh, it says here on your flight itinerary that you went through Baltimore to get here. And he's like, yep. And they're like, I heard it's a great town. And this guy's like, man, I don't know who told you that, but Baltimore's a shithole and you should never go there. And he said that was like the moment where they were like, okay, you're funny. We're not actually going to like electrocute your balls or anything. But he said that really fucking sucked. So anyway, if you're going to go through Turkey to go to Kurdistan.
I would not recommend going to Turkey these days.
No, I mean...
Beautiful country.
No.
I would like to go to Istanbul in my lifetime.
It's not Constantinople. Not Constantinople.
Nope, I got one. I got a blue item, so that means that it must be story related. I'll read it another time.
The D units are not a readable item. They are part of a Voltron that you can assemble if you find all of them.
Oh yeah, no. It's more the part where the government of Turkey seems maybe not great.
To be polite as possible, seems like there's some arbitrary enforcement of laws.
Hey, look, they finally greenlit Sweden joining NATO, and so therefore they're cool now. They're cool again. They're not going to let us. They're not going to force us to get rid of our missile systems there, even though they threatened to do that. We're all good friends.
That's NATO. We're all good friends.
A case of better inside the tent pissing out of it than the opposite sometimes.
I will say this, I do think I like the interior environments more than the
Well, it's a really good way to use that VDP too. You can just take a texture and just stretch it on an infinite plane. It's one of the hallmarks of good Saturn games.
Yeah, just look at how everything looks. It's really good.
Yeah, it's you're about to go through a highlight visually of this game, a hallmark, if you will.
Why isn't it dying? I was talking to you. Did you say something?
Maybe this is supply.
Dig rock. So whose turn is it next time? Also, we should invite you.
Well, next time we're doing a fan pick.
Oh, right. We should find a way to, like, if Rio's still here, Rio should be invited to join the Discord. I should look up the
Listen, I'm being...
You know, I'm paying money to be a part of the Deep Listens Discord. Maybe
I'm
I'll
willing to gift it to more people.
I'm actually quite a bit of money on the Discord. I'll gift a couple people. Less than I was.
Oh, it's a turtle. Oh, it's metabolize. Oh, this is cool.
Like I said, this is
Do you know what's a game that I will defend to my death that I know a lot of people did not like or did not think was good? Is that 360 PS3 Yar's Revenge game?
I haven't played it yet, but I intend to. I put it on that list of when I made like a every space area.
This is a great question. What was that really good reboot Space Invaders game that was like Space Invaders Evolution or something?
You're talking about Space Invaders Extreme, I think.
That game was so good.
There's a sequel.
I think that's also back compat, and they haven't re-released it anywhere.
Yeah, that came out on Xbox, DS, and I think PSP. Oh, Space Invaders Infinity Gene is the name of it.
Oh, Infinity Gene. Yeah, that's a great game.
It's cool. Yeah. Yeah, so Extreme and Extreme 2 came out on...
Infinity Gene just has that super minimalistic aesthetic that I just love.
Look at this crazy thing. It changes shape.
And if you attack certain parts, even the parts that are not rendering top tier damage, you can paralyze them and then you get a safe spot there.
Like, I kind of hate sitting here like telling you what happens throughout this game, but like this game eventually does kind of run out of things to do with this combat system, but it's not for a good long while. Like I think it's actually really fucking cool. Like if you were to say it's a JRPG where you have one party member, basically.
So it's like
for
Dragon
the
Quest
whole
when
thing.
Dragon Quest was simple and easy and not Dragon Quest 7. I'm gonna pick Dragon Quest 7 and you two are gonna like it.
Listen,
I'm already like a third of the way through that game the second time, so actually that's not good.
Oh, so you're already like only 10 hours in?
I mean, I think I'm more like a quarter of the way through the game, and that's more like 15 hours in. Man, they're like, you know, they made it a lot smoother on the 3DS. They really, it's like, yeah, I think they made the opening hours of that game, they took it down from like 6 to 2.
I'm gonna write something about how like people need to stop blaming SquareSoft for all of Square Enix's problems, and people need to start blaming the old guard of Enix because they're the real people in power. And also, like the level of accountability people have on Square versus like, yo, Dragon Quest 12 has been a fucking nightmare, and that remaster of 3, we've heard absolutely nothing about it for quite
Couple
some
years.
time. 2 years now. And nobody seems to be holding those people accountable for their shit.
I am kind of excited to play that. Like, I don't think Dragon Quest is going to be a series where I'm going to, like, stubbornly try to play every one of them, like fucking Final Fantasy and Zelda and Mario, but I did enjoy Dragon Quest 1. And I enjoyed Dragon Quest 2 a lot. So maybe I'm a fucking moron. It's like, Dragon Quest 2 is a thing that I played out of spite and finished out of, I don't know. It's like just hate fucking the end of that game. It was miserable. Prince of Cannock is
Miserable piece. You should write your essay. Write your
bad
essay about
character.
why the Prince of Cannock is a piece of crap. It's poo-poo, man.
He is a like the red mage problem made manifest in a way that is hard to really get across until you have to drag his ass across the finish line in that game, where he will, I guarantee, die in that final boss fight no matter what. So you may as well let him die early, because the turns you spend healing him are turns you are spending not finishing that game. God, he's awful. DQ1, Rio, that's actually the way I played through Dragon Quest 1 2, was the Game Boy Color version. And that was okay. I think they changed some of the, like, XP yield kind of stuff in that version to make it ever so slightly less grindy. And that's fucking fine with me.
But no, I'm just saying, my whole thesis there is like the amount that of people not giving that Enix side of the business, like, even the least bit of accountability for not being able to transition away from Hori, and, you know, the fucking old guard leaders of Enix that took the company over back in the day are the real ones that make all of the bad decisions, not fucking Nomura. It's not Nomura.
I mean, bears some blame in decisions that have been made, but he is not running the money show. In fact, I think they've probably gone to lengths to make sure he is not going to run the money show, and he's probably fine with that. Doesn't
He's
seem
a
like a
character
thing
guy,
that
and he's made it very clear he's a character guy. But yeah, like, not even Katase deserves the shit that he gets.
Jatsu points out the end credits to this game are only in Japanese. That makes a lot of sense. I'm relatively close to seeing those in real time. The end credit... Okay, here's another thing I'll say. I'm not saying this... Okay. Yeah, now just go ahead and take my whole dick out here. Because I said, the opening of this game is, like, on par with the opening of Final Fantasy VII. I think the end credit music this game is on par with Chrono Cross.
Wow!
Ooh.
I don't think the whole soundtrack is, but, like, the ending of Chrono Cross specifically is, like, a really great piece of music.
God, he's just...
And this credit, it's almost like a desperate struggle. Yeah, Jatsu says, just points out how little time they have to get internalized.
Oh. Oh, I used a blast chip on accident.
That's alright, because it did.
Well, okay.
これでなんとか砂漠が越えられる
I have a lot of blast chips in my inventory where I am in this game, so you may as well use them. Okay, so you're about to get hit with cool shit.
Okay.
Everybody shut the fuck
I'm gonna play a little bit more to see this cool stuff, and then we will call it. I would say that I got better.
up. Yeah.
Dragon Valiant Wing? Model change? So he's like a transformer.
He's like a
なん
Pokemon.
だ一体
ガッシュ、あれ。
くそ、不死身かやつは。何？変形した。
そうですね。
Have any VTubers been playing the Panzer Dragoon, Braden or Rio?
So the weird thing about VTubers, at least the
Do
ones
they play
the
them?
big
I
agency
know that
ones,
there are not a lot of VTubers who play retro games because people want to see VTubers play crazy, weird
I mean,
multiplayer
listen,
games
from-
and violent games and be all like, "Oh, the zombies in Left 4 Dead 2 are attacking." Are there retro? Is there a retro VTuber?
Corone, listen, dude. Corone played through Wizardry 1.
Yeah, I saw that, but then she immediately followed that up with a bunch of Left 4 Dead and Dead by Daylight content.
Yeah,
やっぱりこいつは。
she plays every game.
あ、なんでもない。
No, she
それより
beat
早い
Wizardry
地上に
1.
戻ろうぜ。遺跡の出口は目の前だ。
God, I love that remake that they did for Panzer Dragoon 1, but man, does that remaster make no qualms about the fact that that game is like an hour to 90 minutes tops.
Yeah, I don't think it should.
じゃあ、ここからは一人で行く。
Which is why I think it was very smart of them to sell it for like basically
シーカー
$5
っ
to
てのは冷たいやつが
$10.
多くてな。
I've seen it
約
on
束の時
sale
間
for
まで
even
に着かなかったや
less.
つは死んだことにされちまうのさ。ああ、そうだ。そいつを持って東に飛びな。そこにキャラバンがいるはずだ。それを見せれば力になる。なあ、ドラゴンを隠していったらの話だけどな。短い間だったが面白かったぜ。またお互い生きていたらどっかで会おう。
See, they're bros. Was there a... So, this was a little too late for the SST band, right?
SST band.
The Sega Sound Team. Sega Sound Team band.
I think Sega Sound Team did the Burning Rangers soundtrack in part, so they still existed, question mark? I don't think they touched this, though. Hey, can you open your menu here?
Sure. I was gonna say I was gonna... Okay, Dragon type. Oh yeah, I can go left and right and change my dragon types.
Okay. This is the best screen on the Sega Saturn for the sound.
This
and
is
for its
incredible!
ability to- Yeah, it's fucking awesome. And not only is it fucking awesome, but this is also like incredibly mechanically important going forward.
There are times when you want to have balance build, and there's times when you want to go all the way in one direction.
Yes, and this does influence how your dragon will level up too as you go.
This is...
And I think they tutorialize this more, but you can do this mid-battle.
This sounds amazing.
Yeah, this game's good.
All right, yeah, I'm sold. I love this. This is like they have the
Like I said, Mary, you don't like
this
how
is
your
like
dragon looks?
SDR, the SDR menu. It's like I'm color calibrating my monitor.
Yes.
Yeah, the big.
Anyway,
what does it say about the fact that if the bigger the horn, the more the attack power? What do they say about that? This is wild.
Yeah.
But also the fact that it's this is how they did it.
Yep. They didn't need to. There was no reason to make it like this, but they did, and it's way fucking cooler.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Gatsu points out the Spirit Dragon regens mana.
Okay, so you could just use all of those abilities on tap. That sounds pretty good. Defense, I
Yeah,
guess, just exists. Attack does the base attack. Agility is fast.
It does influence your stats as you're leveling up, and it will bias the abilities that you're unlocking slowly but surely. And there's like 5 for each one of them, I think. Anyway, so yeah, and you can do this mid-battle, and it's important. And you named your dragon already, so you're like you're rolling. Okay, I'm disappearing.
All right, I'm gonna also
All right.
sign off. I want to thank everybody for joining. If you enjoyed this, I'll try to do this another time. I am happy with where this game is. Braden, is there anything you want to add?
Like and subscribe to twitch.tv/arbitrarywater if you want to.
Okay. Remember, Deep
Arbitrary
Listens,
Water.
the podcast thing. It's the link down there. $1 a month gets you on our Discord. And
Rio, I would love to sponsor you into our Discord, and if you'd like to bug me, we can figure that out.
all right, I don't think there's anybody else streaming, so I'm just
No.
gonna end this stream. You know, blah blah blah. Man. Yeah, Mednafin. It's fucking good.
Just figure out where the A button's map,
Shut
so you
up.
don't have to open the menu every time you use your pistol.
Shh. All right. Bye.
Bye.